1. An adult ESL instructor notices that several learners are struggling with understanding idiomatic expressions in workplace communication. Which approach best aligns with adult learning principles to address this? A. Assign rote memorization of idioms from a textbook. B. Integrate idioms into authentic workplace role-play scenarios. C. Provide a list of idioms with direct translations in their native languages. D. Avoid teaching idioms until learners reach advanced proficiency. 2. During an English proficiency training session for adult learners, a participant challenges the relevance of a grammar lesson to their daily work tasks. What is the most effective instructor response based on andragogy principles? A. Remind the learner that grammar is universally important regardless of relevance. B. Redirect the lesson entirely to focus on unrelated topics. C. Explain and demonstrate how the grammar structure applies in their job-specific communication. D. Ignore the comment to maintain lesson flow. 3. When developing a curriculum for a high-stakes English proficiency exam for healthcare professionals, which element should be prioritized to meet regulatory compliance standards? A. Including only vocabulary lists without assessment. B. Designing assessments that reflect language demands outlined in healthcare accreditation requirements. C. Creating content based solely on the instructor's preferences. D. Using generic ESL materials unrelated to healthcare contexts. 4. A language program mentor observes that a novice ESL teacher spends most class time lecturing. Which mentoring technique would best improve learner engagement? A. Provide feedback encouraging more learner-centered activities. B. Suggest increasing lecture duration for content coverage. C. Recommend removing all group activities from the lesson plan. D. Advise focusing only on grammar drills. 5. In evaluating an adult learner's speaking performance for an English proficiency certification, what is the most valid evaluation method? A. A written grammar test. B. A simulated job interview with standardized scoring criteria. C. A multiple-choice vocabulary quiz. D. An unstructured conversation without scoring guidelines. 6. A compliance audit reveals that an ESL program's testing accommodations for learners with disabilities are inconsistent. Which action should be taken to align with regulatory requirements? A. Apply accommodations based on instructor discretion. B. Standardize accommodation procedures according to applicable disability legislation. C. Allow learners to choose any accommodation without documentation. D. Remove all accommodations to ensure uniform testing conditions. 7. When designing an English language curriculum for adult learners in aviation, which step ensures both relevance and skill transfer? A. Include aviation-specific communication tasks in simulated scenarios. B. Use only general English topics unrelated to aviation. C. Focus solely on writing exercises with no oral practice. D. Teach only basic vocabulary unrelated to aviation terminology. 8. A mentor is supporting a new English instructor who struggles to manage diverse proficiency levels in one class. Which guidance is most effective? A. Group learners by ability and differentiate activities. B. Teach to the highest level learners only. C. Teach to the lowest level learners only. D. Use one activity for all regardless of ability. 9. During an English language assessment, a test taker disputes their score. To ensure fairness and compliance, what should the testing center do? A. Reassess the test without following established procedures. B. Follow the official appeal process outlined in testing policy documents. C. Ignore the complaint to maintain administrative efficiency. D. Offer a free retest without verification. 10. In a professional English training program for customer service representatives, what evaluation tool best measures real-world language application? A. Role-play assessments simulating customer interactions. B. Multiple-choice grammar quizzes only. C. Copying vocabulary definitions. D. Memorizing lists of common phrases. 11. An ESL program director is tasked with aligning the curriculum to international proficiency frameworks. Which action ensures compliance? A. Map course outcomes to the descriptors of the relevant proficiency framework. B. Use random ESL topics without reference to standards. C. Focus exclusively on local idioms and slang. D. Avoid standard frameworks to maintain flexibility. 12. A teacher notices that adult learners in a business English course are disengaged during listening activities. What adjustment aligns with adult learning theory? A. Replace activities with authentic business meeting recordings and follow-up discussions. B. Continue using irrelevant audio materials. C. Remove listening activities entirely. D. Assign unrelated music for passive listening. 13. An instructor is preparing learners for an English proficiency exam that includes a speaking section. What curriculum element best supports exam readiness? A. Regular timed oral practice with scoring rubrics. B. Silent reading comprehension drills only. C. Written vocabulary lists without speaking practice. D. Open-ended writing tasks unrelated to oral skills. 14. In an English teacher mentoring session, the mentor wants to develop the mentee's ability to assess learners formatively. Which strategy is most effective? A. Encourage the use of ongoing, low-stakes assessments aligned with learning objectives. B. Recommend only end-of-course summative testing. C. Suggest avoiding assessments to reduce pressure. D. Advise random quizzes unrelated to objectives. 15. A company implementing an English proficiency requirement for promotion must ensure fairness. Which practice best aligns with regulatory compliance? A. Administer the same validated test to all eligible employees. B. Allow managers to create their own tests for employees. C. Use different tests for each department. D. Exempt certain employees without documented reason. 16. In designing a high-level English course for legal professionals, which curriculum component most effectively ensures relevance? A. Case study analysis using authentic legal documents. B. General conversation topics unrelated to law. C. Children's literature comprehension exercises. D. Grammar drills with no legal context. 17. An evaluator is tasked with rating English proficiency for immigration purposes. Which step ensures accuracy and consistency? A. Use standardized scoring rubrics and trained raters. B. Let raters create their own scoring criteria. C. Base scores solely on evaluator opinion. D. Assign scores without reviewing the performance. 18. In a workplace English mentoring program, a mentor observes a mentee struggling to give constructive feedback to learners. What should the mentor do? A. Model effective feedback techniques in real teaching scenarios. B. Avoid addressing the issue directly. C. Suggest the mentee give only positive comments. D. Remove feedback sessions from lessons. 19. A teacher is tasked with developing assessment materials for a regulatory English proficiency test. Which practice ensures validity? A. Base test items on the skills and context specified in the official test blueprint. B. Create random items unrelated to test objectives. C. Focus only on topics the teacher enjoys. D. Avoid referencing official requirements. 20. In evaluating curriculum effectiveness for an English program, which method provides the most useful feedback? A. Combining learner performance data with stakeholder surveys. B. Reviewing only teacher opinions. C. Checking attendance records only. D. Relying solely on informal conversations. English Language Proficiency Test ELPT. The English Language Proficiency Test ELPT is a standardized assessment designed to measure an individual's ability to understand, communicate, and apply the English language in academic, professional, and real-world contexts. It evaluates key language skills such as reading, writing, listening, and speaking, often incorporating scenario-based tasks to reflect authentic communication situations. Widely used by educational institutions, employers, and licensing bodies, the ELPT ensures candidates possess the necessary linguistic competence to perform effectively in environments where English is the primary medium. The test also supports compliance with international standards, providing a reliable, valid, and fair measurement of proficiency for diverse populations across various sectors. Here are the top 5 beneficial uses of ELPT exam. 1. Academic admission and placement. Universities and colleges use the ELPT to determine eligibility for admission and to place students in appropriate English language programs, ensuring readiness for academic success. 2. Employment qualification. Employers in global and English-speaking markets rely on ELPT scores to assess candidates' ability to perform effectively in roles requiring advanced communication skills. 3. Professional licensing and certification. Many regulatory bodies require ELPT results to confirm language competence for certifications in fields like healthcare, aviation, and law, safeguarding public safety and service quality. 4. Immigration and visa requirements. Immigration agencies use ELPT scores as part of eligibility criteria, ensuring newcomers can integrate and participate fully in society. 5. Program evaluation and curriculum design. Educators and training providers analyze ELPT results to assess program effectiveness and refine curricula to meet learners' needs and international language standards.